story of the greatest comeback in the history of the NBA Finals starts with us making some big offseason moves. We thought we had Kevin Garnett. We had brokered a deal with Minnesota, but Kevin had a no-trade clause. He basically said, no, I don't want to play for the Boston Celtics at the time. He didn't think we were good enough or that we were going to win, and he thought, why go there and do the same thing, get close and not win? And so once we realized the deal was done, that it was off, it forced us to do something else. And that's when the Ray Allen deal happened. When we did the deal for Ray Allen, the next day, Kevin Garnett's agent calls and says, he would love to play for you guys now. Now I've got the three biggest stars in the NBA, and I've got to figure out how to get them to play together as a team. When they told us we were going to go to Rome for a game, we all thought, well, let's do training camp. Let's do the whole thing. I thought it was probably the most important decision that I made the whole year. Our guys got to know each other. That was huge for our basketball team. It was rare where you get a group of guys that from the day of training camp, they have completely bought into the idea of winning a title and doing whatever it takes to win a title. The guys came together and won 66 regular season games. Then we had to fight our way through the Eastern Conference playoffs. There was no doubt in the other side who was coming out. The Lakers were the best team. They were going to win the West, not get challenged for the most part. I'm smart enough to realize not a lot of people were picking us, but it was like white noise for me because I already had decided and was convinced that we were going to win. We held serve and won the first two games at home. Paul Pierce played great, and we got a huge game from Leon Powe. Kobe went off in game 3, and we lost a tough one, which set up an incredibly important game 4. They jumped on us every first quarter. You just felt like we were fighting out of a hole the rest of the game. I couldn't tell you that I actually knew we were down 24 points. I just knew we were down. I needed to remind these guys what I've been preaching since training camp, and I had to make some changes too. We had been a defensive team all year, but we needed to turn into an offensive team, and going small with shooting, I thought, changed the game for us. By putting Eddie House in, who was a great shooter, already having Ray Allen in, we put James Posey in at the 4, we had Kevin at the 5. All of a sudden, we had a great shooting basketball team. 15's a good number. You're thinking, okay, we're on to something right now. They didn't call a timeout right away. We thought they were gonna call a timeout, and he kind of let it go for a while. I keep looking at our faces, you know, Posey's laughing, Paul has that smirk on his face. You can feel the energy right now. They believe we're gonna win the game, and I just kept saying all game, you know, one more bucket, get it to 9. And once you get it to 9, get it to 7. When I was taking Kevin out and you'd see me give him the high five, I kept saying, I told you we're gonna win this game. And now it's a game. There is not one single body in the paint in an NBA Finals game. If a player sees that, I mean, they're taught attack the paint. And that's exactly what Ray did. Yeah, the game's over now. After the game, I opened my phone. It's 1,000 texts. And the first one was from my wife, and she thought that we should move out of the Four Seasons that we were staying in, that the players were soft and needed to do tougher things and do all this and that. And I'm thinking, what the heck is this text? And then the next text was, I hope you didn't read my first text. Disregard this. You guys were great tonight. When I was back in my hotel room that night, it hit me. Greatest finals comeback ever. I tell people all the time I had years of failure, lots of years of failure. And I just really only had a moment of greatness, and it was worth it. Listen, we lost 18 games in a row. And every game before the game, I had to make our team believe that we were going to win that game.